Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Wednesday, July 17th. I'm Michael Taylor, glad to be here. We're at the middle of the week, hump day. We're getting towards the weekend. It's going to be a nice weekend too. We'll talk about that in weather in a second. But first, what's on our show today? We've got two great ones for you. We got the Village Breeze is out with its latest edition. We're going to have Susan Logan McCracken coming in talking about what's in this article, all the things you should know, all the articles they have there. And so this issue is a great one. We're going to go through it with her today. And then later in the program, from the Garden Villa Association, Stuart Hack's going to be here. He's the president of the association. He's going to be talking to us about some of the unique things that are going on in those three-story units and why they have their own association and what they're all about. So we'll get all to the bottom of that. If you ever had any questions about that, we're going to answer them today. Hey, if you have questions about the candidates, we've got some answers for you as well. We've been telling you that, the candidates are turning in the paperwork and all that, and man, they responded. There's 15 candidates among 3rd and United, and they are going to now have a Meet the Candidates forums, and that's going to be Friday for 3rd. That's going to be Friday, August 16th. And it's going to be over at the Community Center in the boardroom. It's also going to be broadcast right here on Village Television. It's going to be at 10:30 a.m. So if you can't get to the actual meeting, you can watch the candidates answer the questions. And then United's going to have theirs on August 23rd, again in the Community Center in the boardroom, and it'll be broadcast on Village Television if you can't get out there at 10:30 a.m. But make sure you get out there, do your best to get out there and meet the candidates if you're in 3rd and United, and participate and make sure you know who you want to vote for. It should be a great opportunity for that. Let's take a look outside at our weather, and hey, we got those clouds like we've been talking about. It's a June gloom is just hanging around just a little longer, and so we got some clouds this morning. It's going to peel off around 11:30, should go to hazy skies, and then mostly sunny for the rest of the afternoon. High today is going to be just about 79 degrees. Tomorrow we're going to have the same weather pattern. Then we start to warm up, folks. We got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be a great warm weekend. A lot less clouds. We'll probably have some clouds in the morning, but really they're going to peel off a lot earlier as the temperatures really kind of climb up. So we'll get that burn off a lot earlier than we've been getting it lately. More summer-like for the weekend, and that's what we like, especially since we're in the middle of summer. Hey, let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset. Beautiful sunset picture here from Mark Weiss. Thank you for bringing that in. It's over there in Newport Beach. Our sunrise this morning was 5:53. Our sunset tonight is going to be 8:01. If you'd like to send us a picture, we'd love to see it. Sunrise, sunset, pets, places, whatever you got going on. Beautiful summer blooms in the yards. People have been sending those in too. Email us, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and make sure you take it horizontally, and we will put it in our sunrise sunset segment. Okay, we got one meeting to tell you about. Then when we come back, we'll be thumbing through the pages of the Village Breeze. Stay with us.
Go beyond better hearing with artificial intelligence. At Advanced Ear Care, we've taken regular hearing care to a new level with artificial intelligence performance. This provides smarter, clearer balance of sound. Artificial intelligence identifies background noises and reduces them so you can hear the soft-spoken speech clearly. Don't be afraid of this technology. It works automatically. Put them on and hear better all day in all situations. Hear the conversations clearly with family, friends, and caregivers. And remember, tell them Stuart sent you.
Welcome to Envision Eye Centers, conveniently located next to Laguna Woods. We offer cutting-edge technology that meets unsurpassed service.
You and your eyes are my priority. We will treat you with the utmost care and compassion.
Some might offer local exams, but they'll send you on a trek for surgery. Skip the unnecessary travel.
You can be confident that we will deliver the best outcome for your eyes.
Schedule your consultation today and see the world clearly. Call us or visit our website. No inconvenience, just expert care.
When we talk about cancer, we talk about how we're going to beat it. We talk about the 100 million lives impacted every year because of City of Hope's discoveries, and our team of more than 1,600 cancer specialists, all dedicated to ending cancer and giving you hope.
Hi, remember us?
We're back.
Christine and Jack from the Jewelry Box. which is now the Jewelry Box Estate Buyers.
Relocated in a new spot in our old shopping center.
But we're still Orange County's preeminent buyer of gold, jewelry, watches, and flatware.
And we're still a full jewelry repair center. And with our 3 graduate gemologists, we're still here to appraise your special pieces.
And like always, at the Jewelry Box Estate Buyers,
It's about trust.
Hey, guess what's out? It's out, and people are taking them. They're hot off the shelves. They're going fast. The Village Breeze is out, and I want to welcome Susan Logan McCracken to our program. You are the one who oversees this whole magazine.
Yes,
What's that like?
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love working on a magazine. I love being able to serve the community in this way, and we're excited about this issue in particular. This issue was personal.
Yes.
As you know.
Yes, absolutely.
For me.
Well, let's talk about that. I want to jump right into that. You open this page 1. There's an article on page 18 about skin cancers and being careful and those kinds of things. But you kind of wrote a personal story right here. The good news about skin cancer. That's what that headline grabbed me first of all. So tell us what your story is.
Well, a year ago, I was diagnosed with basal cell carcinoma, and it was a recurrence of a skin cancer that I actually had for the 3rd time. And so they had to do a surgery to remove the skin cancer and also do reconstructive surgery on my face with a plastic surgeon.
Wow.
So it was more complicated than most treatments. So that, and I'm still healing 1 year later, but I am happy with the results. And I think that should offer a lot of hope for people who have basal cell carcinoma, that there are treatments. It doesn't have to be disfiguring. And that's the good news. The good news is if you catch it early, there are skin-sparing treatments available, and we're just excited to bring this to people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's not probably a person in Southern California who hasn't grown up here, who hasn't had multiple sunburns. Not our age when we were kids, it wasn't as big a deal wearing sunscreen. It wasn't hit on us so hard as it is today, and we've got some skin damage, and it's just the reality of those things.
Yes, I don't know that sunscreen was even available.
Right.
When
the oils were, the sun tanning lotion.
Right. That was about the best that you could find, was a tanning lotion. But
yeah, and I remember my experience. My first one was like right here, a mole grew out of my forehead, like I was 30 or something years old. I was like, well, I don't think I'm supposed to be getting new moles, and had it checked out. They removed it. It was a little cancerous mole, but so I think, and I've had little things burned off my face over the years too. So I have done that damage to myself, and I certainly know how important it is to get those regular checkups and do that. So great article in here from you on your personal story, but also page 18 about what we have to watch out for skin cancers and a number of the different kinds you can find. So good information there. What's it like putting this magazine together? Where do you start from?
First of all, we start planning the issue. We start discussing the issue with the team, and what are we going to include in this, and what should the theme be? And then we decide who would be the best fit to write this. And sometimes we write it in-house, and sometimes we use a freelance writer. We get contributors from the village itself. Residents send us their ideas. They submit photos, they submit article ideas, they submit information about their clubs, and you can see a lot of that information in Community Connected. Sometimes their photos end up on the cover, as it did with the last issue.
Right.
So.
What was that? What animal was that on the cover?
That was a rabbit.
That was the rabbit. That's right. I was trying to remember. I think before that there was a hawk or something like that.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, and you also kind of go through like departments. What's up in the village, community connected, like you said, social services. So there's just good information in these magazines too, in terms of how there are resources in the community and what you can do to participate in events and then get connected, like you say, right?
Yes.
Some of the other articles, who are we? It's Village Management Services. I think there's so many associations and different governing boards and foundations and those kinds of things that people kind of get confused about who does what and where do we go to. So that's kind of a kind of a clarity kind of article about what VMS actually does.
Yes, exactly. It actually was written in response to a letter to the Globe asking, what is VMS and who is VMS? So the chair of the VMS board, Diane Phelps, wrote this article, and it's really helpful just to see what VMS Inc. is, who the employees are, the services that we provide, and who the VMS board is, and how this entity fits in with all the other mutual boards.
Now, there's another article in here. It's on the cover. It's one of the ones that's mentioned on the cover, Living to 100. And I think people in a retirement community love to hear that idea. They want to enjoy this place as long as they can. And so what's that one about?
Yes. Well, researchers found places on the map. They called them blue zones,
right,
simply because they marked them with a blue marker.
It became that nickname.
Yes, exactly. And they found that these areas had the highest concentrations of centenarians. So they did some research in all these areas, and you know, of course, diet and exercise, that plays a role. But one of the things they discovered is what they called a third place, a third place where people can go apart from just their home or their work to regularly bond with other people, that they belong to this area. Having that sense of community and purpose is something that is common in all these places.
Right, and I think Laguna Woods Village is certainly a great example of that. I mean, more than 200 clubs,
yes,
all sorts of pools, activities, recreation, golf, lawn bowling. I mean, it runs the gamut. I think it's almost hard not to find a community within this community to make yours, right?
Right, and that's exactly it. That's a wonderful opportunity to get involved in the village clubs and amenities and the houses of worship that are here, and all the places where you can find community.
Yeah, and I think one of the challenges is, like, sometimes isolation can be just as unhealthy as poor eating habits or smoking or drinking. Just that sense of I'm alone, or that depression that can be onset with that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's very true.
One of the things to watch out for, most certainly. Some of the other things you guys are talking about in the magazine, we got a ton of articles. Why don't you tell me, what do you think your favorite from this edition?
The favorite, you probably touched on it, probably the Living to 100.
I know, right? Who doesn't love that?
And actually, we did find out in a little bit of research that the village has over 50 residents who are over 100,
really?
and over 1,000 residents who are over 90.
Okay.
So, and that was a fun statistic that we found.
What's your favorite part about putting this magazine together? Is it the creation of it? Is it the working with folks? Is it the whole community that you serve?
Well, I think with a magazine, having something to hold in your hands that is a compilation of all the work that you put into it for the past few months, having something to hold and see that you've done. And editors are packagers. We take the work of writers and we package it. We put a headline on it. We put subheads on it. We, sometimes we'll create sidebars,
right?
And then we select the photography and the artwork, and so we package our writers' work, and that's a fun position.
If folks are interested in maybe writing an article, they think they have an interesting story to tell, how can they do that?
They can email me. My email address is susan.logan-mccracken@vmsinc.org.
Okay. And are you already putting together, are you talking about the next issue, or what can we preview for
yes,
that? I don't want to spoil anything.
That's okay. That will be our 60th anniversary issue.
Oh, that's right.
The Village's 60th anniversary is September 10th. And so this issue will be all about nostalgia and the history of the village and the history of the residents, and we're going to celebrate this 60th anniversary.
Well, that's going to be a collector's edition.
Yes, hopefully.
You should probably print more if you already aren't planning on it. Print some extra ones on that one. Well, you guys pack a lot of great information into one magazine. It's really wonderful. I love going through this every time the new edition comes into our office. I always take a look. Thank you, Susan McCracken, for so much for coming in and talking to us about this today.
Thank you, Michael.
You're watching This Day, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to the Garden Villa Association. Stay with us.
Attention all club organizers, party planners, and those who simply love to gather and celebrate life's special moments. Are you tired of the hassle of cooking for your events? Looking for a convenient and delicious solution? Introducing our easy and convenient catering trays, perfect for groups of any size from 35 to 90. Need a larger space to host your event? Look no further than our restaurant's banquet room, the perfect venue for your next gathering. Call us today to place your catering order or reserve our banquet room for your next event. Create memories and traditions with Polly's Pies.
At Motion Drip, we believe in proactive wellness. Our IV therapy is designed to give you the well-being you deserve. With increased vitamin absorption directly into your bloodstream, it will replenish your body with hydration and nutrients to support your body's functions, increase energy levels, slow signs of aging, improve muscle recovery, and boost stamina. We are located right outside of Gate 8 on Moulton Parkway. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your appointment today, as we will be your proactive partner in wellness.
No. Maxine, I'm worried about Jennifer.
Why?
Well, it seems like ever since she moved here, she's just been stuck.
Stuck?
I mean, I think all she does is sit in her house and watch TV.
What if you offer to go with her to something?
It doesn't work. We like different things.
Well, how about if you find out what her favorite activities are and offer to go with her to one of those activities?
I'll give it a try.
Our next guest is featured right here in the magazine we were just talking about. I want to welcome Stuart Hack to the program. He's the president of the Garden Villa Association. Thank you so much for joining us. So let's continue our talking about Village Breeze. What was your article about?
So, I don't remember.
Let me read it to you.
Yes. See what it says.
It'll be a big secret for everybody. People can pick up the magazine and find out what you have to say.
I cannot believe how many articles I have written, and it's every other month. And to come up with a new idea about what's really great about living in three-story buildings or about issues that we have in three-story buildings, it's always a challenge. And so far, I've met it.
That's what I think. Probably one of the hardest things in news is like being a columnist and coming up with your everything. You're writing something all the time, and what's my idea for this week? And so I can imagine you have a lot of sources and a lot of things you can talk about. But even then, it runs out of ideas, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about the Garden Villa Association in general. For folks who don't know about this association, because it doesn't get Third and United. Those are the big ones that we talk about a lot. But the Garden it's kind of a unique setup.
It's a club.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a club that has no power whatsoever, except that we have about 2,000 members. And our 2,000 members automatically become members because they live in a three-story building.
Okay.
And historically, it began because Third Mutual, it's not the current people, way back when, Third Mutual was not responding to the needs of people who live in the three-story buildings. And in particular, what incentivized setting up the organization is that Third Mutual decided to use money that was supposed to be used only for rec rooms for other purposes. So you have a picture there of
there's a video of the three-story
three-story unit right there. Yeah, that's a good picture of it. Underneath, which you cannot see from here, there's an underground garage.
Okay.
Parking spaces for people who live in the building. Also, there is a recreation room, a rec room, which has a pool table and card tables and a full kitchen and bathrooms. And we pay right now an extra $6.75 a month for each person who lives in a each unit in a 3-story building to maintain those rooms. That money was absconded
way back when, not the current board.
Yeah, not the current board. And that's what started.
That's what started the whole
Garden
the
Villa.
whole
And then somehow the other 3-story buildings, which are the LH21s, joined Garden Villa Association, and I've never been able to get the history on that.
Also got some interesting stories there. So what are some of the unique challenges in terms of that other associations may not face? I mean, elevators, I would imagine, underground parking, like you said, a lot of shared walls. You have people on all sides of you kind of thing. So there's some unique things that need attention in the 3-story buildings that maybe the ranch-style single-story homes don't have those challenges.
So there are 2 areas of it. One is living together. People who never lived in an apartment house have an adjustment to make.
Right.
Because you've got neighbors on both sides of you and across from you and up above you and below you. And it takes a reorientation for people to learn to live with inevitable noise, inevitable odors, different people living together.
Right, and that's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's kind of dorm life. You know, you did that in college, and now you're back to that kind of thing.
It is. It is. One of the biggest issues over time has been smoking. And we have a non-smoking, regulation here. But some people think that they're entitled, and it's very uncomfortable for their neighbors.
Right. Yeah. And I actually live in kind of close quarters with some of my neighbors a little bit, and we do have some smokers in the neighborhood. And every once in a while, it's like, somebody's smoking. You have that thing, and it's coming into wafting your house, and you don't want to close your windows because you don't want to run the AC or those kinds of things. So it can definitely be a challenge. Yes.
Well, it also seeps through the walls here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ultimately, when compliance gets involved, the offending unit has to be completely redone. They have to scrape the walls and in order to start over again from fresh. That's how intrusive it becomes.
Wow. So how does the association operate in general? How are you different from the other boards, or how are you the same?
Well, we're not a board.
Well, yeah. Right. Your club.
But that's
your
okay.
Club.
No. You brought it up right, because it's hard to pigeonhole us, unless, and that's why I wanted to come on and talk. So we are a club, and we represent the interests of the people who live in 3-story buildings, and it's all voluntary. When they triple my pay, it's still 0. So each building elects a building captain, and that's a voluntary position. Many buildings, there's a building captain for each floor, or there are co-building captains because they want to share the responsibilities. The building captains, in turn, elect a regional rep, and we have 10 regions. And the regional rep, in turn, is the sole members of our board of directors, and the regional reps elect the officers. So that's how it starts from the bottom and goes up. For communication purposes and for representation purposes, it starts at the top and goes down. So for instance, you'll see me at every third mutual board meeting.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. How do you represent concerns, needs, wants to third? Because they're going overseeing, and they're the ones helping you guys out in terms of where the fees go.
Well, it again starts at the top. It's what I hear from people who live in 3-story buildings. It's what's brought up at our board meetings. It's what's brought up at the open forum we have every other month, which is a general membership meeting. While I was sitting outside there, I'm checking my email, and a day doesn't go by without a question about this particular email. Is a person who's a hoarder in a building. And there's concern among all the people in the building that it's a fire hazard, and it's also a pest hazard. So that's where the issues begin. And sometimes we just have to feather through it to see whether this is a one-off issue or whether this is an issue that's common to everybody. We have to be careful not to get into political issues. so that we properly represent our members but don't create problems with the board.
Right.
Probably the most valuable thing we have is our relationship with our board, where we look to bring value to them. We never bring a problem without a potential solution and a willingness to help carry out that solution. Our ability to communicate quickly with all of our building captains and through them to the people who live in the buildings is an asset that's valuable to Third Mutual when they need to get things done. When we had we had to get masks out to everybody.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we were asked by Third Mutual, could you distribute masks to everybody in these buildings? Well, you're talking about 81 buildings.
Yeah.
2,000 people.
So it sounds like a good working relationship, so there's definitely some advantages to that kind of organization.
Yeah.
Stuart, I want to thank you very much for coming, president of the Gardenville Association, clarifying that what you guys do, the club, and what you guys do over there at the club. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're watching This Day. When we come back, we'll preview the weekend movies. Stay with us.
Today's retirement is different. It's time to write new chapters in our life stories. To hit the open road in search of new horizons and fresh faces. Grand adventures or simple pleasures. It's not the final chapter in the book of life, but rather a new beginning, a second act.
We believe every senior should be able to remain healthy, happy, and at home. At Caring Senior Service, we understand the value of compassion and companionship. Our caregivers promote health, happiness, and independence. We cook nutritional meals, engage in meaningful activities, run errands, do light house cleaning, and more. Call us toll-free at 833-926-3700 or visit our website, CaringSeniorServiceLW.com. Healthy, happy home. Caring Senior Service.
Okay, welcome back. Hey, let's talk about the Friday and the Saturday movie real quick. Trumbo's coming up on Friday. Bryan Cranston stars in that one. It's brought to us by Providence Mission Hospital. It's going to be on at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. And in 1947, Dalton Trumbo was a Hollywood screenwriter until he and other artists were jailed and blacklisted for their political beliefs during the McCarthyism. So that's a great one, true story, and it's a fun one to watch. I've seen it. It's a good one. Then on Saturday, we've got Going My Way from 1944, starring Bing Crosby, brought to us by Hogue. That, again, is going to be on at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Just a classic, great old movie. Musical comedy, a young priest taking over a parish from an established old veteran. The two are apparently, they are very opposed to each other in the way they deal with things, like a parishioner being evicted and a young woman having run away from home. So it's a little conflict, little older, younger generation stuff going on there. Should be a fun one. Make sure you watch that one on Saturday. Let's take a quick check on our weather before we head out. And it is going to be warm today. We're going to have some clearing in the afternoon, and then we're going to get sunshine in the afternoon, a little warmer later in the week. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.